Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to be going over Thorek Ironbrow's campaign mechanics in the Vortex campaign, specifically going over the Artefact Vault. So Thorek is going to be starting down here in the jungles at Thrice Cursed Peak. We'll kind of zoom out just a little bit so you get an idea kind of where that is going to be. So you have it pretty much down in the southwest corner of the map, right in the mountains here, and you are going to be starting off against some of the Skaven. But for the Artefact Vault, which we are here for, is going to be a collection of very powerful items that you can be kind of built throughout the course of the campaign, and you do need to at least create 5 of them before you are even able to do the final battle. And we're going to be going over these pretty quickly here and how to get each and every one of them. For all of those items, you are going to be seeing they do require different items, and they are going to be found throughout the campaign map. So we'll click on one of them and it will take you to where that item is. So for this one in particular is going to be sitting in the Golden Colossus, and so you're going to be able to click on each and every one of those items in the list. The only 2 that are not listed on the map is going to be Grimnir's Ornate Beard Ring and the Exotic Beard Ring. So if you do click on them, it's not going to go anywhere in particular. And truth be told, I'm not exactly sure how those particular ones are going to be found, but they very well may just kind of show up throughout the course of the fight. But those are the only 2 other items. Everything else is going to be able to found in a location, all of which, except for one, is going to be found on the jungle continent. If you go over to this one, it is going to be very far off into the desert, as you're going to be going over to this mountain range to find that one item. But for each item, so the Keepsake of Gazul's Favor does give you Hans Valhir's Son, the ethereal unit, which is just an unbreakable ethereal, a nice little hero melee specialist. They use the Raton's Collar of Bestial Control, which gives you a yoked Carnosaur, unbreakable, frenzy, terror, fear, anti-large armor piercing, very strong dino to be added to the ranks of the Dawi forces, giving them a little bit of extra mass in the campaign. And then a lot of them are going to be giving some rather significant buffs to your army and to the campaign as well. So the Morgrim's Gears of War going to get you a little bit of extra range for bolt throwers, guard throwers, quarrelers, missile strength for those same units, as well as ammunition and reload time reduction, given all of those guys just a nice little bit of extra presence on the field. Then we have Smednir's Metallurgy Cipher, which gives 10 extra oath gold per turn faction-wide, with additional armor for Lord's Embedded Heroes, and additional tradable resources produced is plus 100% to boot as well. We have Thugni's Tongs of the Runesmith, which gives melee attack for miners and longbeards for the great weapons on those in particular, enables armor sundering for those 2 as well, and shared cooldown is minus 15% for all rune magic. And with how the runes are working now, it's going to be quite nice to have that little extra reduction. But for the big, I guess the highlights of the artifacts is going to be the 3 army abilities. These guys are very strong indeed. The first one is going to be the Ancestral Rune of Grimnir, which is a very powerful Vortex ability. We'll kind of give you a little look into that here. So this thing causes major magical damage in a log strike area, and it does a ton of damage, especially when things are nice and grouped up, as we'll be seeing here. The other army abilities is going to be the Blessed Pick of Grugni, which gives a AoE around a 40-meter radius, invulnerability, as well as plus 24 melee attack and unbreakable to boot. So you can pair that up. You can even drop the Ancestral Rune of Grimnir right on top of them once they are invulnerable, and it's going to be doing a ton of damage to the opposing forces with your unit staying nice and healthy with that invulnerability. And speaking of nice and healthy, the last army ability that you can earn on the campaign map is the Lost Gifts of Valea, which does regenerate 17 to 28 hit points and reduces or replenishes vigor all the way. And this is an AoE effect as well, so especially with some of those very elite Dawi units, and even with that Carnosaur heroes and any of the lords that can just regen your entire group of units very well and kind of keep those in the fight, considering that the Dawi aren't going to be healing any other way. But that is going to be all of the artifacts that are on the table. Plenty of items, going to take you all across the map in Lustria, with the exception of the one being out in the Cobra Pass, but everything else is going to be all over the continent. One goes all the way up into the continent up here, as you're going to be seeing on the map. The one unit in Settlers Coast. Everything else, though, is going to be here in the mountains, and that is going to be a ton of items. So you're going to have to be going pretty wide to get all these. Luckily for the Dawi here, they do have the suitability for jungle climate, so they're going to be able to kind of push out from the mountains. Not too difficult. Some of these areas, though, are going to be a little bit harder to get those items back in. But otherwise, that is going to be all I have for you today. Just going quickly over that forge. And of course, you do have all these other items that you can create as well. And then the other addition is going to be the items that you can recycle. So any items like that you get in from battles and stuff, talismans, armor, and stuff that you want to recycle, get a little bit of extra oath gold, you are able to recycle those in the forge as well. And then you have all these banner runes to be adding to the mix with that oath gold that you can get, kind of just further strengthening your armies. But that is all for this little highlight of the artifact mechanic for Thorek. And without further ado, we are going to close things off. Hope you all enjoyed this short little video. And as always, have a good one.